So let's talk a little bit about acceptance and surrender. So the most important action that a spiritual seeker can take is the act of surrender to reality as it is here and now. Failure to surrender is guaranteed suffering, basically, because reality is immutable and absolute. And if you have a problem with reality as it is at this moment, you have a problem with what is, and that is guaranteed suffering because what is what is, regardless of whether you resist it or accept it. So you have two choices basically: you resist it and suffer, or you accept it as it is and minimize your suffering, or depending on the degree of acceptance of the present moment, eradicate suffering. So the obvious choice is to eradicate suffering by offering no resistance whatsoever to the present moment as it is. So that is acceptance and surrender. So reality is already entirely at one with itself, in a state of perfect acceptance of what is. It is due to the illusion of separation and free will, which the ego indulges in, that the apparent resistance to reality arises, and the utter futility of resistance to reality as it is what leads to the final acceptance of and surrender to reality as it is, which is basically enlightenment. Enlightenment, the degree of enlightenment is the degree of acceptance of and surrender to the present moment. So the more you accept and surrender to the present moment, the more effortless life becomes, the more joyously and smoothly life flows. So this is clear if you try unconditionally and without reservation accepting the present moment as it is, regardless of what situation the present moment puts you in. But surrender does not imply that you do not take action. It means that while taking action to attempt to rectify any problematic situation, you simultaneously surrender to the present moment as it is while taking the action necessary to set any situation right. But the essential ingredient is inner surrender without any conditions to what is right now. So simply doing this consistently is enlightenment. Unconditional acceptance of the present moment without reservations on a continued and sustained basis is enlightenment.